Hello, hello. Oh, baby, thank you. And I beat Frank.
Should I turn the lights on around me? Or is that right?
Hit that shit, bitch.
Yeah, so now I know how much fucking to mumble away when starting the.
All right. Well, you've mumbled enough, man. This is pretty much the point where we should start talking now. So this is the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. Everybody, hi, how are you? I'm Anthony. It's a pleasure to meet you, all our newcomers. If you don't know who the other guy is, he is Mr.
Frank.
Hi, Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank had some difficulties setting up today. So anybody who's listened to this podcast knows Frank is a very stoic and unperturbed person. Like, he is just unreasonably unaffected by most things that go on around him. However, you give him the easiest piece of technology to incorporate into your computer, and he loses his fucking mind. He turns into the Joker. He's like, some people just want to see the whole world burn. So you feel better now? The microphone works. It sounds good.
So you got rewarded for knowing me this long. You finally got a treat out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I really should have recorded it. I didn't realize it would go on for so long. Otherwise, I would have recorded like half the thing. The problem is we couldn't hear you. The problem is he couldn't fix his mic. So we wouldn't have been able to hear you. It would have just been my reactions to you. But I was cracking the actual fuck up because I could not understand how you could be so unbelievably pissed off.
Because I'm a simple man, you know?
I mean, to be fair, it's been about it almost took a full 45 minutes for us to get that shit working together. And then half of it ended up being that my fucking, I didn't even have my computer set up for the audio right. I wasn't.
Yeah, it turns out it was all your fault. And I'm over here.
Yeah, I didn't have the speaker set up right.
Yeah,
that
but
was
no,
hilarious.
Fucking computer nerds laugh at me. They're like, computers are simple creatures. They do whatever you tell them to do. Well, obviously not, because I'm telling you to share my screen, and Anthony's over here talking about how he doesn't see what I'm fucking highlighting. And I'm like, why? Why the fuck do you not see that? I told it to share my screen.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Apparently Zoom doesn't share the Zoom settings and that stuff because that's I don't know. It cancels itself out on the web settings. So he couldn't show me his. Yeah, that was actually a little weird.
Yeah, for you veterans listening, hop onto YouTube and you can see me knife hand technology. I have been knife handing at the sustained rates, and Tony's been enjoying it.
I really have been. Anyway, so how you been, man? So aside from that, and what? Yeah, then you were finally trying to get back on and talk to me, and then I was talking to my grandma on the phone. She's just got her second COVID shot. Everything went well, apparently.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no downsides from the first or second shot. So, hey man, you're shaking your leg and it's shaking the wire and it's shaking the mic.
Oh, okay.
Just, yeah, you fidgety bastard.
Fidgety,
Yeah.
that's what it's called. Okay, I was looking for that word. But no, yeah, vaccines.
It was in my mouth. I found it.
Vaccines are a common topic I have conversing with my father. He's pro-vaccine. It's not that I'm anti-vaccine, it's that I'm cautious. Like, I'm aware that there are side effects, but I am also suspicious of the conspiracies behind it, that, you know, once you take the vaccine, it'll make you sterile. I'm like, well, I don't have any kids. How about I fucking have a kid or two first and then get the fucking vaccine?
I don't know, man. I wondered if COVID made me sterile. Me and my wife have been trying to get pregnant the last few months, and we have not been able to conceive. She might not like me talking about that, but that's, you know, that's my life right now, you know. So that actually did cross my mind, you know, because I heard that COVID was leaving some people impotent, which isn't the same, right? That's you wee wally can't woohoo, but yeah, as far as being sterile, I didn't know that was a concern with the vaccine. But isn't that a concern with almost every vaccine?
Well, yeah, but
there's
you gotta
always
remember,
like a point, not 1, 3, 4 chance that something's gonna go wrong in one way or the other. But
yeah, something. but you got to remember that when this whole thing started, they were already talking about them having the vaccine and how, there's talks about it being sterile because Bill Gates was the one pushing for it before we even had it. And he would always talk about the importance of controlling the human population,
Sure.
reducing it down to, what was it, 500,000? Right?
Well, he wasn't talking about, he didn't say that we needed to do it.
No, the
To-
Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah, that it would I mean, you can't lie. It makes sense. It's just like the Infinity Wars and shit, this fucking Marvel cinematic universe that's going on. That they're revisiting with the Winter Soldier and shit, which we'll get into later. I know I don't want to jump off with that, but that's it's been in the zeitgeist, before COVID happened. It was already in the zeitgeist with that movie. And yeah, I can see, I mean, it's reasonable, man. We've been talking about overpopulating the planet forever. That it's a fact that we're doing it. We're a parasite on the fucking back of the fucking world. What can we do? But eventually we'll fucking, kill ourselves off like any other thing that tries to dominate a planet. Like we don't, when there's too much of something, it suffocates itself. You put too many fleas on a dog, you kill the host. So either the fleas jump off and find another host, they die, or you're right there, or they get a treatment, a vaccine of sorts, and get they get flea dipped off. What I'm saying is, COVID very well might have just been happenstance that happened from the earth fucking naturally releasing a pesticide to get rid of the ticks that are humans off its back.
Yeah, it could be. Could be, because I also believe in natural selection, and a lot of the most recent times the human population has been reduced, it's been artificial, not natural, like the First World War, the Second World War, the fucking
Yeah, we do it to ourselves
yeah,
mostly.
yeah. But
We
if
just haven't been doing that lately.
yeah, if nature says
Not in
it's
big enough numbers anyway.
if nature says it's time to reduce the human population, then I believe the human population will be reduced.
Yeah, so you want to get into the whole theory that we're trying to eliminate people. Well, then that explains why we get into those quote unquote needless wars and whatever, like all these wars that we're out fighting and joining and helping other countries. And are we doing it because the government's just trying to kill off its its population, kill off all the kids before they fucking become fathers and shit. The problem is they give them a couple months leave and they come back and fucking have a kid while they're out there fighting. So they end up, just recycling the population anyway.
Yeah, there's also talks about how the earth is a farm and that there are fucking advanced beings out there that see us and they're not too happy with the results, and so they're reducing our population again by introducing rona in this case.
Okay, so and here we go straight back to, so if the government is privy to this information, then do they release things like Thanos in the in Endgame to seed this idea to us and basically hint to us like, hey, this is what's really going on. This Thanos guy, well, there's really alien versions of them out there that are trying to reduce our population arbitrarily, just trying to get rid of this many number of us. So it was a movie, Frank. It was a movie last year. And now we're talking about how 2 years ago, fuck, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
2019 when we missed a year, right? It's like everybody, it felt like that. It felt like Thanos, and we all lost a fucking year and came back. Tony Stark just fucking brought us all back, man.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, is it going to be 5 years? Because that's what it was. Holy shit. What if COVID regulations and shit, what if it ends up cycling back and getting worse and getting better and getting worse and getting better, keeping us in the state of limbo and eternal fucking homesteadedness, homebodiness? And then we all fucking end up in 5 years eliminating it all. And everyone's like, whoa, what just happened in the last 5 years? What are they doing to our reality outside of our world, man?
Yeah, well, I've mentioned this, but I haven't been clear about it. But so let me be clear that there is a psychic YouTuber. Of course, they always claim some sort of psychic until they're wrong, and then it's like, oh no, well, anyways, saying that this whole Rona thing is gonna last for 7 years as of the start date. So we're not gonna get out of this until 2026, 2027. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough ride because there's vaccines now, right? And one of my concerns is that you'll still get the Rona even if you get the vaccine. Like, okay, but why are the numbers jumping up now? Everyone's getting vaccinated, and the numbers are increasing. That's pretty suspicious. It's either the government is up to
increasing.
yeah, either the government is up to something, or people are lying about getting the fucking vaccine.
Well, or are the people getting vaccine? Because some of them are showing symptoms. So and the symptoms are basically so that's what a vaccine is. You're getting a little piece of something so that it inoculates you against the rest of it. So you're getting COVID. So some people are actually showing symptoms. So are those people immediately thought of as having tested positive for COVID, even though they've only tested positive for COVID because the COVID vaccine is currently running through their system?
Shit. I don't know, man. Because no, because the numbers are fuzzy. Because you can have false positives, and before today, like in the beginning, we were talking about fucking false positives and how in some instances, some government agencies, some hospitals, were calling people saying, "Hey, you have fucking Rona," even though they tested negative, or they didn't even get to test that day. They're like, "No, it says here that you have Rona," and how some there was a doctor that came out talking about the video was taken down. I wonder why. But yeah, this guy was saying how fucking he was questioning why is it that every time I have a death in my hospital, I have to sign the death certificate claiming it was Rona when that patient had nothing to do with Rona. Like no, Rona was nowhere near the patient, but I had to put cause of death Rona.
I'm pretty sure that's malpractice if he was doing that and admitting to it.
Well, no, he was asking why is it that they're telling me I have to put Rona on there when the patient.
Yeah, but that's just, I mean, who knows if that's true though? I mean, we like to think that doctors are above and beyond, intellectually and emotionally and all that shit and mentally in all aspects. Doctors were sort of thought of to be on such a high pedestal, man. But the reality of it is they're still just fucking human beings like everybody else. There's going to be doctors out there who are looking to try and get famous off of some bullshit. You know what I mean? So when it's just a one person coming out, it's hard to say. If he had proof of that, a recorded message or an email, I would be more inclined to believe it. But I'm never comfortable just believing somebody for saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
except for women. Believe all women.
Yeah, I think it was a press conference that he set up and they were recording him, and it's like, oh no, fucking this motherfucker spitting. And yeah, they ended up taking down his video. It wasn't necessarily a press conference, but it was a gathering of people in a room, and he was talking about how, hey, why is it that I have to put Rona? Why are they telling me to put Rona when the patient didn't die of Rona fucking circumstances? Like in fucking South Park, it's like, yeah, we were there and you shot fucking what's his face. It wasn't.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, because of Corona, it was Rona related.
I don't remember that, man.
Yeah, when they shot the
but that I don't know. That's been in the zeitgeist for a while as well. That they're skewing the numbers because there's some sort of subsidy they get for every Rona death or Rona treatment that they provide. But who knows, man? That's a topic I just don't know enough about to put too many cents in. But speaking of topics I don't know too many things about, you were telling me, we were talking about Thanos and that aliens are gonna fucking.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling me that UFOs aren't UFOs anymore. I've heard of you. Are you okay? So that now we're gonna get into that, but are USOs still USOs?
Well, the thing is that
Unidentified submerged
fuck.
objects.
Yeah, UAPTF. Um,
WAPT.
yeah, the treaty, the fucking mandate that they were given, to report all
Well, what's
fucking
the UAPTF?
unidentified aerial phenomena task force. So now,
God,
yeah,
that's a bloated fucking uh name. They couldn't come up with a better title than that.
yeah. So now it's not enough to say it's a UFO, because I guess now it's been synonymous with spaceships. But yeah, so now
Ah,
they're calling it fucking unidentified aerial phenomena, because um some of these sightings are unexplainable. That I wrote down here exactly what the guy said. But yeah, that it was difficult to replicate, and that um and so I suspect, God, I'm getting all over this thing, and I had it all set up nicely. But
you can do it. I believe in you.
no, like, I might as well get into it.
Yeah,
But
get into it.
what happened? I don't want to disconnect anything after
All right,
everything.
so hold on. Let's rewind, relax. I was trying to make this a seamless thing and act like we knew what we were talking about, but let's pull your notes out, get them in order.
Like, I do know what I'm talking about. It's just I had all this fucking in order because I had a sequence to follow. But
All right.
yeah, so the former director of national intel, John Radcliffe, went on Fox News, and he said that the government has information on many more sightings and have been made public from all over the world, not just here in the fucking US. And that many are from Navy, Air Force pilots, and satellite images. Includes all sorts of actions that are difficult to explain. My doctor handwriting, moments that are hard to replicate, which is what I just said, and signs of things that move exceeding the sound barrier without causing a sonic boom. And so then, yeah, so then right when they were getting into that, uh, I started speculating. I'm like, okay, so even if it's true that we have been visited by aliens and they do have all this advanced technology, especially with Biden in office, but not particularly. Uh, I think they're gonna spin it to where, yes, fucking there have been strange sightings, but it's technology coming from Russia and China. Because you got to remember, when Biden was running for president, he was talking about, he was saying about Trump that fucking we cannot afford a war with China because China has such advanced technology and such superior fucking numbers that would get our asses handed to. And I'm like, that's not very America of you. But yeah,
It's pretty it's unabashedly honest though. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah,
how would we have more tech or weaponry than China? Like that, look at what they produce as far as technology and microchips and all that shit. We do pretty fucking well ourselves, but the cost of manufacturing, like they have practical slave labor there, they don't have rights, so they can get away with making shit for cheaper and getting people to work harder for nothing. And
yeah.
and they've got billions of them. There's so many people living in China, man. I don't know. It's possible.
But you also got to keep in mind, that Biden could have been protecting his profits, because we all know he's been getting money from
Oh,
China.
like Trump or Bush or Clinton or
Well,
Reagan or
well, now it's just conjecture and conspiracy, but
everybody.
no,
Everybody's
because there
always
is proof.
there's no. Everybody is always out to help themselves. Now, some people don't prefer to do that at the detriment of others. But oftentimes, the more power you got, the less likely it is that you're going to be able to get away with helping yourself without hurting others.
Right. But what happened? No, yeah, there's been proof that fucking Biden has been getting money from China. Our congressman, I think
China.
he's a congressman, Vicente Gonzalez, just a few weeks ago, it popped up that there are receipts of him having a fucking savings account. I think it was a savings account. Had an account in a Chinese bank, and the Chinese government has been paying him interest. And you're like, yeah, okay, so the guy was smart enough to invest his money on fucking what could potentially be the next superpower. But yeah, there's a conflict of interest. You work for the American people. You are part of the American government. You shouldn't be in bed with someone who's considered an enemy. They're not allies.
Right, but we said the same thing about Trump with Putin, man, and Bush with who the Iranians. Who was it that he was talking to? I mean, in the middle of the Iraq War, when he was claiming that he was over there to help. He was starting to work with people that Jesus, there's so many of these instances, it's hard to even keep track of them. I'm not a poli-sci major at by any means. But it's just the nature of the beast, you know. Power corrupts, absolutely, especially when you're the president of the United fucking States. It's practically absolute power to a degree, or at least it's thought of as that. And as soon as you got people reaching out for a power that seems to be absolute, it's already started to corrupt their own goddamn minds. I feel like the only people that should be president shouldn't want to be president. Like we have to. Like, it shouldn't be somebody who's actively going out, you know, like, hey, who's this guy, you know, that you think you should be president? Let's do a groundswell movement. Just hire somebody that doesn't want it at all. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do.
Well, Trump never wanted to be president.
Yeah. Okay.
No, he didn't. There's
okay.
like where like Oprah was like, would you ever consider running for president? Oprah, who now hates his guts apparently. And yeah, and he's like, no, like I don't think I can ever run for president because blah blah blah, you know. And Reagan was the one that said this man could be president someday. But yeah, there's talks about how Trump ran for president the second time around to promote his book. And there's also talks about how Trump only ran to get even with fucking Obama because
sure, because of that famous scene,
yeah, because Obama was humiliating him, so he's like, "Well, now I'm gonna."
I'll tell you what. I'm one thing you'll never be, and that's president. How's my Obama? Is it good? Am I getting there?
Spot on.
Hey, thanks. Cool. I got one right. Put that one in the bank.
Two last week, 2 weeks ago, you had another one.
What was it? I wish I remembered.
Was it Russian? No, it wasn't Russian. It was.
I am pretty good at
it was Irish.
I'm fairly good at the Russian as well. Okay. You see, my wife, she really likes it when I talk like this.
Like Borat, you mean?
It's not quite a Russian. I think it's more like Borat, maybe. I don't know. So if I don't know what language is it cultural appropriation, or is it racist if I don't know the race that I'm doing, or is it racist that I don't know the race that I'm doing?
No matter how you spin it, no matter how careful you are about it, it'll always be racist.
Okay, but I'm brown too. Is that okay? I'm a different shade of brown, but we're BIPOC, bro. We're not black and well, I'm partially indigenous, I guess, as well. Yeah, but we're people of color, bro.
Yeah.
We hold a place of prestige amongst the world now, apparently. I don't fucking understand. I don't understand it. It's too much to keep up with. I'm trying to be all peace and loving, and I'm a yogi, bro. I really am trying to just live my life in a much more positive way, but I think the more I think about it, the less positivity there is in the world, but the less negativity there is too. Like I'm floating at a flat line, just flatlining it. Nothing. Everything just seems so dumb to me. Like, what do you have to do to get through your day? Do that. Is there anything that you could do to make you enjoy that day? Add that to it, and then pay bills. Like, that's all we could do. That's all. I don't know, man. What's it all for? Not a goddamn thing. Some people would say it's to go to heaven. Some people would say I say it's just to be nice to each other. I find the more that I'm nice to people, the more niceness comes back to me.
I did.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like I get I'm not making any money off my free yoga classes. I'm doing that just to help the community. But what it's doing is, it's made me feel a hell of a lot better about myself, knowing that I'm providing a service for the community and doing something that helps me and gets me to my mat 3 days a week at the least. And then I got my wife and kid joining me every time. It's just. How did I get on this? Sorry,
Okay. So speaking of these conspiracies and yogi, there are
yogi.
people, spiritualists mostly, uh so excited about coming June when they do the UAPTF mandate report release,
Mhm.
whatever. So excited that the time has finally come where the Galactic Federation of Light is about to present themselves. They're going to reveal themselves to the world, and we're all going to be peace-loving creatures, and they're going to teach us their ways about love and fucking how money is going to be a thing of the past. I'm like,
Well, yeah, because we're going to go to a digital currency because the government is slowly phasing out the dollar by
no,
just
but not
handing
even
out
that.
dollar bills to us. No, I'm telling you what's going to happen though. So
Okay.
what it's going to go to is like this digital currency, and then all of a sudden people are going to realize like, oh, we can earn digital currency just by the likes that we get on Facebook. Like, well, how do you get more likes on Facebook? Oh, you be more kind to people. And it's going to be a false set of kindness. It's going to be very awkward. And then you end up making kindness itself a digital currency, a lot like that Black Mirror episode. And then the aliens reveal themselves and they're like, oh, look, the more kindness you do, the more love energy you get. And you can join us up in the galaxy of pure peace and love and lose your soul and individuality because you got to fake being nice to everybody. I think people need to come to a point where they learn to be nice for the sake of being nice because it makes them feel good. You know what I mean? Niceness makes you feel good if you embrace it. Even when you're nice to people that don't fucking deserve it, it just feels better than being an asshole back to them. Because then you're stewing about the argument the whole fucking time.
Yeah, apparently there's a society somewhere in space where you don't have ownership of your child. Like every child belongs to everyone, and that
Well, it's small village culture, right? Like it's
but
that whole idea, it takes a village to raise a child because,
right.
well, that's a phrase because in reality, there were villages of small communities, especially here in the plains of Texas, because it was a nomadic not nomadic. What's the term I'm looking for? They traveled in small clusters
Nomadic.
is it nomadic? I guess it was nomadic. You know what I
Nomadic.
was thinking? I was thinking of hermetic, like a hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just, anyway, point being, yeah. So yeah. What's your point?
So get this. That society, it's a whole planet, maybe it's a whole system, but in that planet, they don't reproduce sexually. They reproduce through meditation.
Test tubes.
So I'm
Test
like,
tubes. I mean, okay, we do that too. You go to
no,
artificially inseminate, you
no,
lay
no.
there, except
Meditation. Like
yeah,
you sit
sure.
down with your
Was
partner and you hold hands and you
yeah,
meditate
okay.
a child into being.
I'm not a big fan of tantric sex, but I could see it working, I guess.
Yeah, and apparently that's how the Virgin Mary got pregnant. That
Sure,
yeah,
naturally.
that it was through meditation. It wasn't some divine light or whatever. It was just she meditated with what's his face, Joe, Jose, whatever. Joseph. There you
I
go.
was like, really? I was giving you I was like, wait, who is he talking about? The husband? Like
Yeah,
so wait,
Mary
but
and
it's
Joseph.
not, but it wasn't his kid. God, it was God's kid. Don't be
No, but that's what
don't be a
he
terror.
is
No,
saying,
no, you're wrong.
that it was them two that meditated, and because it came from nothing, they were saying, "Oh, he's a child of God."
Interesting.
But that's just a theory, though. Don't fucking raise
I
your
don't know,
voice
man. I
and
don't
torture
believe
that
in
thing.
I don't believe in magic. I think there's certain sciences that we just it's going to be a different type of science that looks amazing on camera. Frank is
You don't believe in
pulling
this?
he's throwing his thumb off of the other thumb. It's amazing. Wow.
This is
like
not magic. Fuck you
It's
talking about, Willis?
all right. Yeah, are you done? I thought that was your penis for a second. It was a whole 2 inches hard, bro. I was impressed.
Uh-huh.
All right. So so what are UFOs called now? That's what we didn't get in. We didn't.
Yeah, we did. I told you.
What are they called?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
So unidentified aerial phenomenon. UAPs, WAPs.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, so they're gonna get fucking Megan the Stallion and Cardi B over here, fucking WAP and shit, worship and prayer, and what else does it mean?
Oh, that's hilarious. The only
Yeah,
WAP that comes out of me is worship and prayer. That's funny.
yeah. Apparently, the priest on social media somewhere on the internet was like, "What does this WAP mean?" That all the kids were talking about, and some smart ass kid was like, "Worship and prayer." So, and he put that on his church's page, like, want to see everyone get on that WAP.
That's beautiful, man. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So what else you got, Ben? What else is on the docket? What else haven't we talked
Speaking
about
of
lately?
aliens, recently, like the article was recent, but then I got into it and I was like, well, it's not that recent, but yeah, there was a system of bodies of water that was discovered in Mars. So there's a potential for there to be,
What?
yeah,
Like liquid water flowing
yeah.
or
So
frozen?
flowing, because
No.
see, yeah, because well, I'll get into that, but
Well, no,
no,
get into it. I'm asking you
in
about it.
in 2018, a large
You-
lake of liquid
Oh,
20
you're doing that
kilometers in
reading thing again.
diameter was,
I hate the
was
reading.
discovered under the icy surface of the south pole of Mars. And new research has combined the lake's existence and found three more. And so what they're saying is that because God, I wrote it down somewhere, but I guess I'll do it out of memory. I think I remember this, but what happens is that it's underneath the caps and it's salt water, so it's at negative 110 degrees Celsius, but because of the amount of salt on that body of water, it keeps in a state of afloat of a stream, so it doesn't really
It's
freeze.
got it's got a higher freeze temperature.
Yeah, so
It does, and it doesn't. So it just wow. And this is subterranean, or is it an open face to? I mean,
well,
wouldn't we have seen it in pictures before?
yeah, the
Well, I
one
guess
in
we only recently started photographing it close up, huh?
Yeah, the one in 2018 was under the ice caps, but this intricate system was above the surface, because one of the scientists was talking about how, yes, it looks like it's interconnected, but we don't know how, even if it's shallow at all or deep, the connecting links to it. So it could be interconnected, or it could just be, that it looks interconnected from up above. But yeah, they found water on Mars again. So there's a high, because that's what I'm saying. I'm like, according
So
to the
they
law.
know that it's water because I know that at a certain point, I remember a while back they were saying that they thought there was water on Mars, but then there was something coming out that they thought it also might be flowing sand, like it may be like a sinkhole of
Right.
sorts in the area, or the winds of Mars just like making it seem like it was flowing water. So what actually caught this image? Was it the rover, or was it
No, it was
a satellite?
Yeah, it was a satellite.
Nah, boss. I don't know about that.
Yeah, because back a few years ago they were talking about how there's a face in Mars that was carved out. It was the Anunnaki and shit, and then it turns out it was just the range. That it's a mountain range, right? But then the way, uh, yeah, the way the wind carved it throughout the years, and the shadow coming from the picture made it look like a face. And then there's the pyramids, that it was like, oh yeah, there's pyramids in fucking Mars because of the Anunnaki. And it turns out, no, again, it's just really huge boulders. They're mountains, but because of the shadow, it
Yeah.
looks yeah, it looks like it's pointy when it's really not.
Yeah, there's just optical illusions.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what the scientist was saying, that yeah, it looks interconnected from here, but we won't know until we send a rover down there if it's interconnected and
Well, we
shallow.
have a rover now.
Right, but this is, oh god, it didn't say where exactly, but
Everybody was making fun of it because it was sending pictures back, and everyone was like, "Well, that just looks like like that just looks like a desert on Earth." Like people were adding like Bernie Sanders sitting on his lawn chair in the middle of the Martian photo.
yeah, that's what your
Um,
pal David was saying. That
I was like,
fucking
"Well, yeah, what do you?" Because okay, the universe is made of the same substances, man. It's not what you thought that we would go to Mars and it'd be like an all lava planet or something. That's called the sun.
that's Mustafar.
Okay, and you go to Pluto and it's this ice ball. Like, no. It's still rock. It's just really cold and tiny. It's also a moon, so fuck it.
Yeah. So then there's that. But what happened? Yeah, so they're just gonna fucking keep scoping it out. They got fucking time, and in time, they'll fucking tell us if it's an intricate system of water or if it's just individual lakes that just look connected but really aren't. So, oh, and
Yes.
that's what I was gonna tell you, that the laws of probability state that we cannot be the only ones out here. Like they're at least
Well,
at the
obviously, not if
minimum.
there's an infinite amount of space out there, but if there's a finite amount of space, we don't know.
Yeah.
All we know is what we see, and what we see ain't shit, Nyaga.
Yeah. So at the very minimum, then there's microorganisms in the salt waters of Mars. Like, like some way or another, we are not alone. We are not the only ones. But
Sure.
you know,
I disagree, though. I think we're alone. I
well,
think life is just one sad, lonely walk to death.
that's 'cause you're lonely and miserable.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. All right, man. Well, anything else you want to talk about? We probably have time for one more topic here. Or you want anything else on on Mars?
Libertarianism has
All right.
taken
So this has been the
over
completely inappropriate
Baltimore.
podcast, everybody. I've been
Oh, I'm
Anthony Long.
telling you, this is very uplifting
Okay.
because, and now
Say it again. I didn't catch any of it. I heard
I'm pretty
libertarianism and just
sure
stopped listening.
I'm pretty sure Tim and Kim will be against this, but
I'm like 90% sure they don't listen to us anymore.
but Baltimore stopped prosecuting nonviolent drug and sex crimes, and crime dropped 20%.
Say that again.
Baltimore stopped prosecuting nonviolent drug and sex crimes, and crime dropped 20%.
Say that one more time.
Baltimore.
No, you're good. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You stop processing any type of fucking crime, crime is gonna fucking drop by a percentage. Now, is 20% a large enough thing to make it seem awkward? No, I think 20% is about fucking right.
Yeah. So it was an attempt to keep people out of jail and limit the spread of rona. And
that was the purpose. That
yeah,
so it had nothing to do with like not wasting taxpayers' money or anything. It was just worried about Rona.
Yeah.
Like, how about we make these decisions based on fucking basic human fucking humanity? No. I don't want my grandma to get sick, so I don't want you in jail. Like, what the fuck are you? Just the reason okay, it's just the reasoning. Just it's All right, continue.
So yeah, it was supposed to be a temporary thing, but the results speak for themselves. So they made it a permanent thing. Violent crime dropped 20% from last March to this month. Property crime decreased 36%, and there were 13 fewer homicides compared with the previous years. 39% fewer people entered the city's criminal justice system in the 1 year period. 20% fewer people landed in jail after 1,400 pending cases were dismissed, and more than 1,400 warrants for nonviolent crimes were tossed out. So, yeah. And then it was written on the article that Baltimore will continue to decline prosecution of all drug possession, prostitution, minor traffic, and misdemeanor cases, and will partner with a local behavioral health service to aggressively reach out to drug users, sex workers, and people in psychiatric crisis to direct them into treatment rather than the back of a police car.
That's pretty rad. Yeah, claps, golf claps, golf claps. Didn't hear your claps, by the way. Clap closer to the mic. But yeah, still can't. Why can't I hear your claps? That's so weird.
Now?
No, it's not. It's the microphone doesn't want to pick it up.
Oh.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, it's the pop filter.
Maybe if we go, yay, talk with it, we'll hear it.
Yay! I'm telling you,
There
it's a pop
it is.
filter.
There it was. No, yeah, it was, that
okay,
was
cool.
just so weird. Like it wouldn't activate, I guess, the decibel level. Anyway, sorry. So that's great fucking news to end on, man. Yeah,
Telling you,
people are processing. Sorry.
I'm telling you, but you don't want to talk about these things. Like I have
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't lie and pretend like the things I don't want to talk about is like kitty porn and fucking rape. Although we got to get into some rape cases in the next episode or two, unfortunately. Not the next episode though. So if you're squeamish, we'll put a warning at the beginning of our description when that episode airs.
Oh yeah, apparently we got to do that on YouTube. Like fucking trigger warning.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Just put that on every single one of our descriptions, right?
Well, it's in the name. Completely inappropriate. You know, like fucking Chris Tucker. Like what's his name? Fucking Dave Chappelle said, you know, you're the one that clicked on my face. So, you know, fuck out of here with
so
that
racist.
nonsense.
You thought Chris Tucker was Dave Chappelle?
No, because that's the first name that came to mind. Probably because I'm thinking of fucking Tucker Carlson.
Do you think all black men look the same? Damn, Frank.
Because I was gonna touch on fucking Tucker Carlson, but I'm like, no, that's too political for fucking Anthony. He's gonna.
I don't even know who that is. But what I do know is that you can find us at completely inappropriate podcast at gmail.com with any comments, questions, concerns about any of this bullshit. If you want to bitch and complain to us, we have that email available for you. We'll let you know if we ever check it. There's CI Podcast on Instagram, completely in app on with 1P on Twitter. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, BitChute, wherever you find us. Good for you. You get a cookie. You don't get it from us, but you can find one. Anything else, Frank? Any last little tidbits of fun you want to slip into the convo before we end it?
No.
Let the people know.
We'll let them know what. Where they can find us? You just did.
I just did, Frank. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What do you tell the lovely listeners?
Be excellent to each other.
Find your motherfucking happy. Try to be better today than you were yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. We love you very much. Frank, he comes from his mama and loves dad pie. Not his mom's, not in that way. I mean, say bye, Frank. Say bye.
Bye, Frank.
Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Sayonara. Bye. Stop recording.